If you come for my people, you come through me. These are the words of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who's emerging as one of the key leaders in the pro-democracy movement to resist Donald Trump and any form of fascism that Donald Trump may try to inflict on our great democracy and our great nation. That was a statement that Governor Pritzker put out. Let's take a look at what he said. He goes, "To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom, opportunity, and dignity of the people of Illinois, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come from my people, you come through me." Governor Pritzker then also posted, "Chaos, retribution, and disarray radiated from the White House the last time Trump occupied it. This time may be different, but if it isn't, Illinois remains a place of stability and competent governance. No matter the storm we face, you'll be welcome, safe, and protected here." He goes on to say, "While I was surprised by Tuesday's results, I wasn't unprepared." He says that in Illinois, we have protections ready to protect people from the damage Trump may attempt to cause. We have enshrined reproductive rights, built a path to clean energy future, reaffirmed labor rights, invested in tech, and more. The Lieutenant Governor of Illinois, Juliana Stratton, writes the following: "The outcome of this election does not erase that Illinois has already expanded reproductive care, protected LGBTQ plus people, banned assault weapons, and created more access to opportunities. In fact, these results fortify our next steps. Rest assured, we will continue to press on." I want to see all governors and lieutenant governors who care about our democracy putting out statements like that. We don't back down to fascism. We don't bow to dictators. This is the United States of America, states of America, where states' rights right now and pro-democracy states need to stand up against fascism. Governor Pritzker gave a press conference, a compelling press conference earlier in the day. He said, "I'm thinking a lot about my mom today." Here's what he said.
"I'm thinking a lot today about my mother. For most of my life, I've been involved in public policy and Democratic political campaigns as a volunteer, as a supporter, as a candidate, and that's most especially because of my mother. When I was just a little kid, I was conscripted by her to stuff political flyers into envelopes while my older brother and sister addressed and stamped them. We watched as Sue Pritzker organized political campaigns out of our living room at a time when women weren't even allowed to have credit cards without a male co-signer. I think about how she supported causes for women's rights, for gay rights, for civil rights, back when it must have seemed like the pace of change was heartbreakingly slow. The memory of my mother has helped to give me some understanding that the hope that American women have for our country is not a new manifestation, but an old inheritance. It has been nurtured and cared for over generations, passed down with the kind of persistence that you need to continue putting logs on a fire you may not get to see lit in your lifetime. I know that there are a lot of women out there this week, especially young women, asking themselves if they will ever get to see a female president. And to them, I want to say, I too am tired of having to explain to my daughter and to my son too, that eventually the time will come, but not now. Yet here we are again.
That was well said, Governor Pritzker, and it reminds me, of sometimes when I'm thinking about what's my motivation for doing this as well. It's for we the people, it's for this pro-democracy community, but it's also for my daughter Jimena, it's for my family as well. And I'm with Governor Pritzker here, that you are going to have to come through me because we're not going anywhere. Speaking of Governor Pritzker, I think he is going to be in discussions as a major potential presidential candidate for the Democrats. I think him, Governor Newsom, Governor Shapiro. I think the bench is going to be very, very strong. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Pritzker, back in June of 2023, gave one of the most compelling keynote addresses, commencement speeches rather, at university. Let me show you what he says. And he goes, "Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing," citing Dwight Schrute from The Office. And then he goes, though, "And what is the best way to spot an idiot? Look for the person who is cruel. That's how you spot an idiot." Watch this.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Dwight Schrute. The entire efficacy of this incredibly useful piece of information hinges upon your ability to pick the right idiot. I wish there was a foolproof way to spot idiots, but counterintuitively, some idiots are very smart. They can dazzle you with words and misdirection. They can get promoted above you at work. They can even be elected president. If you want to be successful in this world, you have to develop your own idiot detection system. As part of the responsibilities of being your commencement speaker, I'm going to share mine. Sure, I'm naturally suspicious of people who never saw the original Star Wars movies, and even more cautious of people who loved the prequels and the sequels. But I admit this is not a reliable idiot indicator. No. The best way to spot an idiot: look for the person who is cruel. Let me explain. When we see someone who doesn't look like us, or sound like us, or act like us, or love like us, or live like us, the first thought that crosses almost everyone's brain is rooted in either fear or judgment, or both. That's evolution. We survived as a species by being suspicious of things that we aren't familiar with. In order to be kind, we have to shut down that animal instinct and force our brain to travel a different pathway. Empathy and compassion are evolved states of being. They require the mental capacity to step past our most primal urges. This may be a surprising assessment because somewhere along the way in the last few years, our society has come to believe that weaponized cruelty is part of some well-thought-out master plan. Cruelty is seen by some as an adroit cudgel to gain power. Empathy and kindness are considered weak. Many important people look at the vulnerable only as rungs on a ladder to the top. I'm here to tell you that when someone's path through this world is marked with acts of cruelty, they have failed the first test of an advanced society. They never forced their animal brain to evolve past its first instinct. They never forged new mental pathways to overcome their own instinctual fears. And so, their thinking and problem solving will lack the imagination and creativity that the kindest people have in spades. Over my many years in politics and business, I have found one thing to be universally true. The kindest person in the room is often the smartest.
Look, Governor Pritzker, he's not afraid of Donald Trump. He doesn't back down to Donald Trump. Here's what he said back on June 9th of 2024. He goes, "Donald Trump is a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, a congenital liar. He's a racist, sexist, misogynistic narcissist who wants to use the levers of power to enrich himself and punish anyone who dares speak a word against him." Here, watch this.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, and a congenital liar. He's a racist, sexist, misogynistic narcissist who wants to use the levers of power to enrich himself and punish anyone who dares speak a word against him. He has stolen state secrets, compromised our national security, betrayed our Constitution, and sacrificed the truth to further his own naked ambition. When Trump comes to Milwaukee for the Republican convention, he'll cast blame on others for his own misdeeds. He'll claim credit for things that he never touched. He'll lie and he'll ramble.
Look, and Governor Pritzker knows all about retail politics. Here's what he said. He goes, never been to a grand opening like this, but it's a pleasure to smash a few guitars as we officially open the doors to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Watch this. And here, Governor Pritzker of Illinois backs a plan to throw Supreme Court justices off the bench when they violate ethics. Here, watch this.
The Supreme Court is broken, and it needs fixing. Hold justices accountable to an actual code of ethics. Investigate them when they violate it, and throw them off the court if they breach their oath.
And just the day-to-day governance of Governor Pritzker. This was like back in August of 2024. He goes, look, we need to expand the infrastructure and resources necessary for women to exercise fundamental rights. We need to build greater protection so no one has to fear retribution or liability. And we need to ensure women can make these choices based solely on what's right for them. Just think about this language coming from Governor Pritzker. And here, watch this. Let's play it.
Across the nation, we can see extremists are ramping up their efforts to restrict and punish women seeking to exercise their rights and control over their own bodies. We can't wait around and be reactive when the latest attacks come. The pro-choice majority in this country need to be proactive. We need to expand the infrastructure and resources necessary for women to exercise their fundamental rights. We need to build in greater protections so that no one has the fear of retribution or liability for obtaining safe and legal health care. And we need to ensure that women have the ability to make these choices without interference from politicians. That is exactly what today's bill signing accomplishes. These laws were crafted to shield Illinoisans from future attacks by the U.S. Supreme Court and other bad actors who will attempt to impose their backward ideology on the rest of us.
You know, I want to give a shout out also to the governor of California, Governor Newsom, who says, California is ready to fight. I just called an emergency special session to help bolster our legal resources and protect our state against any unlawful actions by the incoming Trump administration, whether it be our fundamental civil rights, reproductive freedom, or climate action. We refuse to turn back the clock and allow our values and laws to be attacked. I think that was well said right there. Governor Newsom also wrote, Kamala Harris set out to fight to defend our fundamental freedoms and build a country that works for everyone. She stood up for working families, decency, and opportunity. Though this is not the outcome we wanted, our fight for freedom and opportunity endures. California will seek to work with the incoming president, but let there be no mistake. We intend to stand with states across our nation to defend our Constitution, to uphold the rule of law. Federalism is the cornerstone of our democracy. It's the United States of America. So what we're seeing here, pro-democracy governors like Gavin Newsom, Governor Pritzker, focusing on states' rights, uniting, and saying, if you're going to try to do anything to the people of our state, come through me. We're protecting our states from any form of fascist encroachment. Powerful statements by them, and I think it's worthy of highlighting that here. Thanks for watching, and please hit subscribe so we can grow this platform and try to get 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.